Hey, what's up guys? I'm Jacob Kaufman, editor of The Street, and this week, OwnCloud 7 came out, and I'm going to take a look at it right now. So today we're looking at OwnCloud, which is basically, it's like Google Drive, except you host it yourself. So a few years ago, I got really into Google Drive, and I absolutely love the idea of being able to access all my files anywhere. However, as we've recently learned, all your stuff hosted by Google and Apple and Microsoft and all the major companies aren't always secure. You know, the government has access to them, the companies themselves have access to them, and hackers might have access to them. So I kind of stopped using Google Drive for a while, which kind of sacrifices convenience for security. Now you can kind of have both if you've got your own web server. A video or two ago, I showed you how to set up your own web server for use in your own home, and that is the exact configuration that we'll be using today. So if you don't have your own web server, you can go and watch my video on setting that up, and then we are going to show you how to set up and use OwnCloud 7, which, like I said, just came out this week. Really excited to try it out. Came out on Wednesday. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to try it out until today. So yeah, really excited. Let's just jump right in. So this is the website for OwnCloud. As you can see, OwnCloud 7 is here. Like I said, just released this week. So this is, up-to-date stuff you're getting here. As you can see, if you click on features, you can just take a look at some of the things that we can do with OwnCloud. Basically, it's your own cloud. People talk about storing things in the cloud and utilizing the cloud. Google Drive, Microsoft, whatever they're calling it now. OneDrive, and Apple's iCloud. This is basically your own cloud that you are in control of, rather than a big company being in control of it. So you can, upload files and sync them between devices. And in addition to that, you can do things like collaborative editing, multiple people working on the same document at the same time. And OwnCloud is actually an open source program, I believe. I think it is. So if we go over and click install, you can see we've got install OwnCloud Server, and OwnCloud Server is available for web servers. Technically, you're not supposed to be able to run this on Mac OS. This is only for Windows and Linux. Plenty of people do run it on Mac OS, not sure why they don't support Mac. But yeah, no matter what your web server is, you can come here to download the server. There are desktop clients for OwnCloud, for Windows, Mac, and Linux. And those allow you to sync your files and things without having to go to the website. We're not going to be looking at those today, I don't think. I think we're just going to be looking at the web interface, because that alone is pretty cool. There are also mobile apps. You can connect to the cloud that you're hosting through your iOS device or your Android device, and all kinds of other good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and install OwnCloud on our server to begin with. So this is how you install OwnCloud on your web server. So we're going to need to go to this website, owncloud.org/install, on our web server. And if I go over, and here's our web server, let's go ahead and open up Firefox. And our web server is going to go a little slow because it's in VirtualBox, remember that. All right, owncloud.org/install. If your web server is on Linux, there are packages you can use to automatically update OwnCloud whenever updates come out. I'm used to just using archive files, so I'm going to grab the archive file rather than using a package. But if you're on Linux, feel free to try these packages out. But just in case you're on another operating system, or if you just don't want to install any packages, no matter what operating system you're on, you can go ahead and select the blue one, archive file, for server owners. So this is available in a tarball and in .zip format. If you're on Windows, obviously you can grab the .zip file. We are going to download the tar file just because we can, and I will choose to save that file in our downloads directory. So that archive will download, and I am not going to show checking package integrity and verifying the authenticity, but if you know how to do that and you want to do that, feel free to do that. That's just making sure that your download's not corrupted and that it's not, hacked or anything. Just for those super security nuts out there. So yeah, and then we've got the OwnCloud admin manual. And of course, we're not going to look at that. We're just going to try installing it. Because, this is Nerd on the Street. We don't read manuals. Of course, if you're going to be doing this in a production environment, you should probably read the manual. But just for at-home purposes, we're going to see how easy it is. If we need to look at the manual, we'll look at the manual, of course. I'm not going to be silly about it. Download's a little slow there. There's probably still a lot of people downloading this. Seeing that it just came out. Keep it going. There we go. All right.
So open up our downloads folder, and here we are. So as you can see, this is our downloads folder. So we will open up that tar file, and it is opening. There we go. So now we've got a single folder, OwnCloud, and we are going to extract this folder into the root directory of our web server. So HTML, we've got it bookmarked from last time. So yeah, just extracting right there, and it's going to go through. That's a lot of files, 103 megabytes of files. I mean, it's not super a whole lot, but it's a lot for a web application. Understandably, because this is a really powerful application we're downloading. All right, extraction completed successfully. Let's take a look at that. So we've got our OwnCloud folder, and in there we've just got all kinds of stuff. So we're going to go ahead and go to the directory that we installed OwnCloud on. Now, last video, when I showed you how to set up a web server, I did show you how to access that website outside of your web server. So you can either type in localhost if you're on the web server, or you can type in the IP address if you're on a different computer. But as you can see, this is our homepage still, but I'm going to go to our IP address /OwnCloud, because that's the name of the folder. Okay, give the web server write access to the root directory. All right, so let's just go to the OwnCloud. This is the overall folder. Permissions, create and delete files. All right, so let's try again. All right, so now we've got some PHP modules that are not installed. So as you can see in the list of requirements, the PHP module GD, which apparently we don't have. So let's go ahead and let's open up, let's close our archive and our downloads folder and our terminal, because we are going to start getting slow real fast here in VirtualBox. But if we open up Synaptic, I hope we have Synaptic installed. Don't have Synaptic installed, so we will open up, I guess, Ubuntu Software Center. If we search GD, I wonder if anything will come up for that. Nothing really. How about PHP space GD? Show 8 technical items. All right, GD module for PHP 5. So just go into Ubuntu Software Center, search PHP GD, show technical items, and yeah, GD module. That is exactly what we want. All right, so that module is now installed, so that was not too bad at all, thanks to that Software Center. So let's once again load this page up. All right, and we will need to restart the web server. Let's try restarting the machine. Let's see if restarting the machine worked. There we go. All right, restarting the machine totally worked. So now we are going to configure OwnCloud. So we will create an admin account, and I will say Jacob for my username and password for my password. Of course, it's going to tell me that's bad. Password 2. There we go. Now we'll just leave it at password. All right. So whatever you want your account credentials to be there. Storage and database. So this is your data folder. Leave this as the default. As you can see, that is our web server directory. And configure the database. So database user. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a new database user. We actually don't need to access the web server directly for that. We can do localhost /phpMyAdmin. And if we do that, we can log in. All right. So remember last time I showed you how to create a new user, and we will do that again. So we will add user, username, OwnCloud. Host, go ahead and use localhost. Password. Of course, you don't want to use password as your password in a production environment. And then this is what I was talking about last time. Create database with same name and grant all privileges. OwnCloud requires a database all to itself, so we could give it root access to our entire MySQL server, and just it would only access its own database. But why do that when we could give it only access to the database it needs access to? So we are going to create a new user called OwnCloud, and we will create a database with the same name, grant all privileges, go, you have added a new user. And now, not only have we added a new user, if you go over to databases, you can see OwnCloud is now a database as well. So we will type in OwnCloud. That's the user we just created. Password. And then database name is OwnCloud because we created a database with the same name. And then host is localhost because our MySQL server is on the same computer as our web server. Finish setup. That was super easy. Welcome to OwnCloud. So as you can see, get apps to sync your files. So this will literally be like Dropbox or BitTorrent Sync if you select any of these. So you can get desktop apps or mobile apps to sync files. And in addition to syncing files, you can also sync your calendar and your contacts. So this is like an entire solution here. This is awesome. But I'm not going to connect my desktop to this because this is only a test server. I want to take a look around the web interface. So this is the files section of the web interface. I guess we'll just go through this piece by piece. And this is really nice. They've really been polishing up this interface, especially with this release of OwnCloud 7. So you can see we've got different folders, and this is an example file. Instead of opening the example, let's just go back up to our root directory, and yeah, you can store whatever files you want here. And you can store as many files as you want because this is on your web server. So as many files as your web server has space for, you can store files for. And you can upload files if you click that. I don't want to upload anything right now, but you can upload files from one computer, download them on another computer. You can access this on the internet, remember, if you've got your web server configured to be accessed through the internet. We're going to create a new file. Let's say I want to create a new text file. And OwnCloud does use .txt files by default, so let's just try that out. New text file, .text. And here we've got a text file. And I can type, this is a text file. Save. I wonder if it saves. Don't think it saves automatically, but no, it doesn't save automatically, at least not the text files. But yeah, that's interesting. So you can edit text files and just make notes pretty quickly. In addition to text files, OwnCloud 7 has granted us the ability to edit ODT documents, I believe. If we go to example.odt and we go over here and click edit, I could have sworn, let's see. All right, so I just looked that up, and not to worry, the files section of the website is for viewing files only. So yeah, that's not a bug or anything. We're on the files section, as you can see here. We'll get to documents later. So once again, files though, you can upload ODT documents or DOCX documents or whatever kinds of documents you want. You can upload videos, you can upload photos, you can upload music, you can upload whatever files you want, and you're not uploading them to Google servers, you're not uploading them to Apple servers, you're uploading them to your own server. So how cool is that? In addition, this is kind of new in OwnCloud 7 as well. If you've got multiple users in your OwnCloud installation, which you can do, and I think we'll get to that later, users can share files between each other's accounts. So like I could set everyone in my family up an account on my server, and then I could share files with other members of my family. So shared with you, if I've shared anything with anyone else, they'll show up in shared with others and shared by link. So you can actually share files and just give people a link to the file on your server, once again, if your server is configured to be accessed through the internet. So yeah, this is the Google Drive portion, or the Dropbox portion of OwnDrive. Basically, Dropbox is what you should think of at this point. Dropbox or Copy.com or one of those. So that is really cool. Just this alone is an amazing web app, but it gets even better. We can go over and take a look at activity, and this shows you everything that everyone's doing, or at least, yeah, everything that everyone's doing. And I'm assuming that, if you're not an admin on the server, you wouldn't be able to see everyone else's stuff. But since I am an admin, I can see activities by others, and of course, there's not other people on here, so I won't see anything there. But you can see I created a new text file, I changed the new text file, so it's basically just showing you a stream of everything you're doing. This would be great for security purposes. You want to make sure nobody's doing stuff on your server that you don't know about. Shares, I assume that would be a log of all sharing activity, so people aren't sharing sensitive information if you're using this for a company or something. Next, we're going to go over to the documents section, and this is where you can create and edit ODT documents. So that example.odt, remember we opened that up earlier and we couldn't edit it, we could only see it. Now we can actually edit And this is like Google Drive or Google Docs. And this is really cool. We can go around. We can actually edit ODT files on the fly. We're editing. Like I said, this is ODT. So this is basically the open source version of Word format. This is not some proprietary OwnCloud format like Google has the Google Drive format. This is an open format. The same format that like OpenOffice and LibreOffice use. We can type whatever we want. You know, we've got formatting stuff. We've got not a whole lot of fonts. I wonder if you can install more fonts. You probably can. You can change, you know, this is really cool. This is an extremely simple text editor, but still it's really, really cool that we've even got it at all. This is not running on, you know, like I said, another server. This isn't running on OwnCloud.com. This is running on your home server. So you can store, like, your own files on here and use them. Zoom. And like I said, more than one person. You can see here it says Jacob, and it's green. If I had other people having accounts on my server, I could invite friends or coworkers to work on the same file at the same time. And it's just like Google Drive, where we can see what we're doing. I can see what the other person's doing while they're doing it, and they can see what I'm doing while we're doing it. That is really cool. I can click share, and yeah, as you can see, share with user or group. So I don't have any other people on the server, but yeah, it would be really cool if, yeah, see, we've got a share link. So if your web server is on the internet, you can send a link to people, and then you can, yeah, you can set a password for it. And this is just really powerful stuff. This is really cool. So if we go back, trying to figure out, so we just click on OwnCloud. Now we're back to the documents overview. So again, you can upload, and as you can see, the maximum upload size is 2 megabytes, but that is not a restriction that's set in stone. You can go into your web server settings and change that. That has to do with your PHP settings, not just your OwnCloud settings. But yeah, you can upload files and edit them on the fly and download them again. You can create new files. So I'm going to create a new document. I'm going to call it test doc, space between paragraphs. Oh, I can do that. Hello. Let's see if I click again. Hello, this is Jacob. Test. So you can see there's space because I put spacing in between paragraphs. Select and change the font. So really, really cool. A web-based text editor running on your server. So it looks like that X in the upper right corner is how we get back to the overview screen. So that is the document section of OwnCloud. Pictures. You can upload pictures, and it looks like it comes with a few sample pictures. And as you can see, you could upload your own pictures in place of these. You can delete these. It's gotta be easy to delete these. You probably do that within the files section. So yeah, you can, yeah, like I said, make your own gallery, upload your photos to your own cloud, and have access to them. Calendar. Oh, I can share my location with my server, and if I do that, then I guess I can like schedule things on the calendar in my time zone. I'm guessing that's how they would use that. So this is just like Google Calendar. This is just like Google Calendar. I can click a day, create a new event, test day, and I can say it's an all-day event, and repeat weekly, create event. So I've got test day, and then if I want, I can go to week view. It bears a remarkable resemblance to Google Calendar. I can, you know, just drag and drop new event, create. Let's see what our advanced options are. See, we can set location for the event, categories, so we can sort by category, and then description, create event. Could just move it around just like that. Just like Google Cloud, just like Google Calendar, just like iCloud, just like whatever Microsoft calls their version, except this one's on your server. This is so freaking cool. So as you can see, Sunday is on the end here. And then we've got day view, and we've just got today. And you can create different calendars. So I can have a personal calendar, and I can have like a school calendar, and I can create different events on different calendars. So I can go back to month view, and I can say calendar school. I can just create an event, and where did I create that at? Let's see, school, create event. Let's do week view again. Here, let's try this. So if we do that, we say school calendar, test 2, create event. All right, so that's not working right now for some reason. All right, so we just had to turn on and off. Remember, this just came out this week, so there might be a few bugs here and there. Those will get ironed out. If you get one of those packages from the download page, then those updates will come to your server automatically if you configure that to update automatically. But yeah, all we had to do was, you know, I can toggle different calendars by clicking on them, as you can see. So I just had to turn the calendar off and on, and now I can see all the stuff I've been making for that calendar. So as you can see, my school events are in green, my personal events are in blue. You can make as many of those as you want, and I'm sure you can share some of these events with other people and invite people. Yeah, share. See if you've got other people, once again, on your server, then you can share it with them, or you can send emails about them. Really cool. And a new feature in OwnCloud 7 is somebody else doesn't have to be on your server. Let's say that you've got your own OwnCloud server and your friend has their own OwnCloud server. You can actually share things with them server to server. You don't have to be on the same server to share things. That's really cool as well. Contacts, finally. You can have your address book on your OwnCloud server, just like iCloud, just like Google, I guess your Google address book, or just like Microsoft's live mail, I guess, or whatever it is. What is it? Outlook.com. So yeah, I can create a new contact. I can say, let's say, I'll just make one for me. Jacob Kaufman, Nerd on the Street. Jacob at nerdonthestreet.com. And I can say, notes go here. Test contact. I can make a color, or I can upload a profile picture for contacts. And I'm sure you can do this kind of stuff through your phone and stuff too. So you could like sync this with your iPhone, have your contacts on your iPhone sync with your computer through your own server, rather than having to have Google hang on to your contacts or Apple hang on to your contacts. Do it yourself. You can choose different, let's say, instant messaging, Twitter, Jacob GKAU. So you can add different fields. Close. So now I've got a contact there. And you can create groups of contacts. Group 1. Test group. What's that say? Alright. So I'm still getting the hang of this a little bit. But yeah, that is really cool. You can have contacts saved on your server. And then apps. Let's see what apps is. So all of these different things we've been clicking on are apps. So I'm expecting that the apps section, yep, sure enough, you can download more applications to add to OwnCloud. So you just saw everything that we've been doing, and you can download more things to add to OwnCloud. There we go. So as you can see, we don't have any apps installed right now. Well, we do have some apps installed. These are the default apps that came with it, but that is really cool. You can disable any of these apps, so that's cool. These are the apps that are not enabled by default. Bookmark Manager comes with this, but is not enabled by default. We've got external storage support, so if you want to add more storage to your OwnCloud server. This is really cool, guys. Yeah, I think that you pretty much get the idea of this. If we go back to files, you can see I've got that test document that I made, and I can drag that test document into the documents folder, and now it's there. So OwnCloud basically is your own cloud. It's your own personal Google Drive. It's your own personal OneDrive. It's your own personal iCloud. And it's not giving your files to other people. You're not giving your files to any large corporations. Everything is in your control. So if you're concerned about security on the internet, if you're concerned about government surveillance, or even if you just want to have a convenient way to store and sync your files, OwnCloud seems really, really good for the job. It's getting really polished. I'm sure a lot of bugs will be ironed out in the coming weeks as people report them. And yeah, this is really cool. If we go down to settings, you can see we can access our files via WebDAV. So if you have, like, on your mobile devices an option to do that. We've got a recycling bin, deleted files. So if I delete my music folder, then it will temporarily go into the deleted files area that I can delete permanently. If I go up to the upper right, Jacob, oh, by the way, there's a search box, so I can search, like, text, and I've got new text file. If I go to Jacob, I can adjust my personal settings, so I can change my password. As you can see, 1.2 gigabytes. I'm sure you can set the amount of space each user gets on your server. You can get emailed about things. So this is your personal preferences. Users. So if you're an admin, then you can manage different users. As you can see, quota, I could set Jacob's quota to 10 gigabytes, so he has a little bit more space, or I could set Jacob's quota to unlimited. I can reset people's passwords for them if they forget them. And this is where I could add, like, if I wanted my mom or my dad to have an account on my server, then I would add them here and create that, and I could make a group for it. There's an admin panel. You can configure your server to use HTTPS if you want to be even more secure. Wonder if that's on this page. Yeah, enforce HTTPS. And you have to set that up through your web server first, but then you could enable that. Email server, you can, figure out how your email notifications are being sent. You can look at your log. So these are the log things that have been going on. Just these few minutes we've been running OwnCloud. We've got 3 log entries, or at least 3 errors. So you can select just some more backend stuff about how this is running. And as you can see, for that ODT file support, you might want to, or you might have to, install OpenOffice or LibreOffice on your server, but that was already installed on our server, so of course that worked. And yeah, this is really cool. You can go to help. We've got an entire user guide, and it's not on the internet or anything. It's right on our server. It must have downloaded when we downloaded OwnCloud. And then I can just log out, and here's the login panel. So yeah, that is really, really nice. I'm really looking forward to installing that on my own production server and using that. So yeah, I hope that you guys see how cool this is. Have your own server, your own cloud that you can store your files on and edit your files on. You can edit files just like on Google Drive, except it's on your own server. How cool is that? That is freaking awesome. And yeah, we have it running on our own web server. So that's just great. I hope that you guys check that out. The website for that is, whoa, my computer's bugging out. The website for that is owncloud.org. And yeah, I will definitely link that in the description. OwnCloud 7, once again, just came out. I hope you guys can see, once again, how cool it is. And you can get clients for it for your mobile devices and your computers and everything, in addition to all the web interface stuff that you can access from anywhere. So yeah, that's all I'm going to show you about OwnCloud today. Let me know if you have any questions about it. Let me know at nerdonthestreet.com. Sign up for our forums if you're having any issues, or if you've got any questions about how to use OwnCloud. Of course, if you're actually having like bugs or problems, you should probably ask the people who make OwnCloud, not me. But yeah, for now, that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, that is just OwnCloud. Store and manage and access your files from anywhere without giving them to third parties. I hope you take advantage of this. I'm Jacob Kaufman. I'm in the street, and I will see you guys later. See ya.